I think post Kalakshetra there was a phase in my career which was pretty much stagnated. I mean, I wasn't quite doing much apart from teaching at the core of it. But teaching did give me a new perspective to look into my art a little differently. All right, I'll come to that later. I just feel dance for me for the longest time has been through self learning, very honestly, because I think I observe a lot, I watch a lot, and I have followed my mentors who have trained me back in Kalakshetra days, and post that also have been in touch. However, I vividly remember that time when I sort of broke down and thought, I probably need a mentor at this point in my life. The traveling was such for me that it did not let me station at a particular place. So that became very difficult for me. And long distance wasn't quite in back then when I was, wanting to get that training. So I feel different influences like per se Shrijit Krishna sir, then Professor A. Janardhanan, Leela Akka, they really brought in nuances, gave something so solid. That foundation was so strong that I could actually build up on that, and a lot happened by observing artists, very honestly, and traveling. In fact, Malaysia plays a very big role in me, how I execute my art, because when I came here in India, back in India, you just learn one dance form. Over here, when I saw artists, they were trained in diverse dance styles.
Well, the thing is that India has left us behind in terms of, there was a time when my friends in India would look upon sutra, for example, but there has been such an incredible injection of energy from all over in India that when you look at the Indian dance today, there has been an incredible outburst of creativity from all.
Totally.
And I'm just totally awestruck by what is happening in India at the moment.
Yeah. There's sort of, I guess, a brain wave. I think pandemic also.
What happened?
I think pandemic gave people time to reflect upon arts differently, because the online medium became so powerful. I think people had the opportunity to learn from people who probably were not also in India, and they.
But are you impressed by the online development of dance, because they are kind of 45-second
Right.
wonders. But what about the depth, which I feel that you are exploring, even with Karuna Sagari? I feel they seem, both of you seem to really go deeply into the dance a bit more, and also the nuance of Abhinaya is very impressive for me.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Ramliji. However, for me, it's both ways. The development of online. I think online brought teaching closer to me. I kind of went like global into teaching, and I kind of started understanding a lot of perspectives. There have been dancers coming to me who have had a contemporary background. So you get to also learn. It's sort of a give and take process. So if I see, there's a lot of sharing happening. There's also a very
but there is also a literary kind of depth. I thought that the analysis of the literature behind the work, who has been the inspiration behind that literary?
I think it's about time that like when you have experienced yourself as an artist for a longer time, you want to peel those layers of superficial, what you just see and looks beautiful to an audience, and you get an applaud. you are like, you yourself question yourself, what next?
Yes. Yes.
So when you want to peel those layers, you want to go beyond the superficial, which actually is an in-depth study of literature, of the work that you're doing. So there comes a point in every artist's life. I mean, how seriously they take it is, their lookout on that. For me, a work doesn't happen in 6 months or 8 months. For me, it has always taken years together. I've keenly worked on things and probably also took a step back into leaving it halfway if the thoughts are
So have
not
you
really.
been working mainly as a solo? Have you worked as a group?
I tried to. When I just moved to Singapore, I pretty much, wanted to also explore the ensemble work. However, I felt I didn't fit in. Very honestly, in a way, I don't know if it would be correct to say, standing out is always not always a positive thing. Standing out would also mean that you couldn't coordinate, or you
Correct.
couldn't synchronize with the rest of the group, which was happening to me quite a bit.
Yeah,
So-
I can imagine, because I find that you are distinctive in just literally just standing. But okay, because time is running out, I just want to also ask you, what about marriage? Because you're married for how long now? And then I'm just terribly impressed that marriage has enriched your kind of personal relationship with dance, whereas on other aspects, in other cases, marriage have literally diminished that relation with many dancers, and I get very, very irritated with that.
Okay, so the first thing that marriage did was fill me with a lot of confidence. I think my husband, at every stage, right from the time I got married, there were a lot of complexes, I would say, within me, not just about dancing, also about my physical appearance and stuffs like that. And he would always say, you are, beautiful to my eyes, and you don't have to. In fact, he gave me a bigger push that if you want to dance, you're just going to dance, you're not going to focus on the rest of the things. So I think for me, marriage brought a lot of additional features into my dancing. The sensitivity in my dance, I really feel that it's more sensual now, because you feel that connection with nature, you feel that connection with humans. So
Yeah, that's fantastic to hear that. I wish you can probably advise my dancers on this area. No, because I think they are a bit concerned now with time, and the weather is a problem. I will finish there, but
Sure.
I probably continue this conversation with you.
perfect, Ram. Thank you so much, Ramli. Thank you.
All right, so it's nice and bright here.